All right, everybody from the committee gets seated, we will get started. So I want to take a minute and welcome everybody to the Northeast Connection. I'm Nan Thompson, and I'm the chair of the Northeast Connection. It's great to have you here with us, to be in this room, have so many entrepreneurs that are interested in growing and sharing their business success. Before we dive into the agenda, I want to welcome our guests, speakers, and sponsors that have made the event possible. And Charlotte Hodge, she'd like to say a few words. She is our Blue Cross sponsor.
Thank you, Ann. Good morning, everybody. I'm Charlotte Hodge from Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina. In today's world, it's very important, as you all know, as business owners and entrepreneurs, it's very important to have quality benefits to offer your employees to attract and to retain employees. So Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina has a special partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, and we offer some special benefits to chamber members only. So if you have any interest in learning more about that, I'd love to talk with you. I'm sitting over at this table and I'll be here for a little bit after the meeting if anybody has any questions, but just know that there are special exclusive benefits just for being a member of this Chamber of Commerce. So thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. We always appreciate our Blue Cross sponsorships. It's my pleasure to introduce our Richland 2, our new superintendent, Dr. Kim Moore. She has a passionate commitment to fostering growth and innovation. She brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to our community. We're excited to hear from her.
I really have to use the microphone, or can I use my keyboard? All right, thank you. Good morning. Thank you for coming today. We are so excited to have you here in the district office for Richland 2 School District. I have to tell you, as you heard, I'm the new superintendent and not originally from South Carolina. I'm coming from Florida. But I have to say, I have never been welcomed anywhere so warmly as I have been welcomed here in South Carolina. And as a retired military officer, I've lived across the United States. I've lived in a foreign country. So when I say that, it is truly from my heart how warm and welcoming everyone here is in South Carolina. Everybody's like, welcome. If there's something I can do for you, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you. I truly appreciate that because I've been here now for about 90 days and I'm beginning to learn my way around. So having friends that are willing to come alongside is beneficial too. Let me just tell you about our school district. So first and foremost, I believe that Richland 2 is the best school district in the state of South Carolina and the best school district in the nation. And because I believe that, my goal, my purpose, my focus is ensuring that every parent in our district feels the same way. Because we should be the parents' first choice, because we are the best choice. So I need your help in getting that message out. Because a lot of you are parents. How many of you are parents of students in our district? Thank you. I hope we're doing a good job. If we're not, oh, thank you. I love that. If we're not, let us know. And if you're not a parent in our district, currently you probably had a parent or was a parent at one point of students in our district. I get lots of parents that tell me, my student graduated from this, my child graduated from that place, or you're a future parent, or you're related to a parent, because you have nieces and nephews and cousins. Bottom line is, you know children and people who have children. So I need you to carry this message to them. Richland 2 is the first choice for parents because we are the best choice. Now, why do I say that? Is it because I'm the superintendent? No, it's because we have great people working in our district. And I am blessed to be the superintendent for the great people that work in this district. We have done remarkable work. in a lot of areas. Do we have areas we're still working on? Of course, all of you are business owners and entrepreneurs, so you know there are things that go well, and there's things that we have to work on. But if you look at our data, you will see we are doing a great job. We are open to the public because we are part of the public and a part of the community. So I'm not gonna take a lot of your time, because you have a very full agenda today. But please think about us when you are thinking about places that you might want to host events. As you can see, we have this beautiful conference center. If you look at the construction next door, you will see we're building a wonderful performing arts center that we are building with our referendum dollars, where we did not raise any taxes. We did not borrow any additional money. We built it all with the dollars that were approved and funded by the community during the referendum. And so that will be opening up in about a year roughly. And so we hope to have that available also for the public to use. These are just a few of the highlights that are taking place in our school district. And we would love to partner with you in the work that you do every single day, because just like you, we're a member of the community. Thank you.
So a big thank you to Dr. Moore with their enthusiasm for Richland too. We are going to discuss today the intersection of technology and business success. That's why we're all here, is to have successful businesses. So I would like to introduce Adam Vance. He's the CEO of Sound Images. He and his staff will bring forth a presentation to show you each the best practices of virtual meetings. Because who hasn't been on that virtual meeting that you're just like, really, seriously, could you at least try? So he's going to show us all the do's and don'ts on that. But Adam, if you want to. Sure.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Morning. Yeah, I'm Adam Vance with Sound and Images, and we're huge proponents of PA systems and amplifying too. So I'm so thankful to be here. We've been to R2I2 a good bit. Will Ames and the team. Thanks to Naomi, thanks to Susan McPherson back there, Anna over here, of course, the chamber. See some friends, Michael Yarber in the back, Kristen Price. Thank you for your support. Adam Jones, we go way back in the day. We share the same name. And many others too, but just so glad to be here. I've been with Sound and Images now for 7 years. After 8 years of a fly before you buy kind of deal, I ran a large tent event rental company for many years, and that's how some of us cross paths too. So I've either known people from one side or the other. And one thing I've learned being with Sound and Images is I always say DIY, destroy it yourself. And I do that a lot. And I try not to, but I hire professionals that do what they do. I don't shop around too much. I don't look for pricing. If I have a relationship like Kristen Price there, Spectrum Reach, I know she's going to be fair to us, and I'm not going to shop around. So I've got a relationship with Kristen. And so with Sound and Images, one thing I did learn is that you do have to, one thing to invest in, and money's tight, of course, is your AV. Especially during the old COVID deal that we all have dealt with. And it literally about first world problems and about like Sound and Images out. A big portion of our business is live production. So we did use, the COVID words, we pivoted. We helped a lot of people go virtual. A lot of our churches, a lot of our small businesses, a lot of our big businesses, a lot of them found out real quick exactly how the extreme lack of infrastructure they had in that department. So my PowerPoints, I'm kind of a do as I say, not as I do to my team and to my kids. So I'll whiz through some of these right here. But Sound and Images, a lot of people know us for live events, but commercial AV installation is a huge part of what we do. And it can be from your small lawyer's conference room with a tabletop device, screen on the wall, to things like R2I2. We did not have anything to do with the installation here, but this is exactly what we do. We install a lot of the high-end commercial AV products and control systems that control the projectors, the screens, the audio, all of that. From the State House, everything in the House chamber, we did right when I came out in 2016. So I always say you might not like the laws, you might not really agree with it, but we make sure they're recorded, they're heard, they're seen up on the voting displays, etc. So that's sort of a grand scale kind of deal that we do. So along with the live event production, we do the commercial AV installation. We're full service from design to deployment, and this right here is an example of all these that you see right here, these drawings we do, and then we install this, and this is somebody's room that we install. And so this is on a medium-sized room, but it's all the focus on having good cameras, good audio, good microphones. Here, this is a large scale, this is a boardroom at a top bank. It's regional. That's a 136-inch LG screen right there. And that's something on the larger scale. Is that a huge investment? Absolutely. They're talking about billions of dollars, and the meetings are pretty high pressure when they're talking about billions of dollars. So I always say you got to invest thousands, tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, depending on the scale. But there's also systems that are 3,000, 4,000, that you can do to be, above what I always say, a $300 laptop with a bad nose hair camera and a horrible microphone. And we're sitting there doing these meetings, and you've got all the executives, hunkering around a laptop, and then it thinks out. You're running it on Wi-Fi, and then you wonder why you didn't get the deal. Pay now or pay later. That's what we always say. If you don't prepare, it's going to show. And if you don't prepare for that big meeting, it's going to show. It's going to show at the worst time. And same thing here. I just I'm the worst at preparing things for myself because I'm doing it for everyone else. That's what we do. And so we hosted our networking group a couple of weeks ago at Sound and Images. I did a breakfast for 90 of us. I was doing it till 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was back and forth because we had everything else going on. And the paying customers are most important. These are just some more renderings right here. A lot of times you'll do the 2 screens now where you'll have the content, and then you'll have the Brady Bunch sometimes if you're on the Zoom call, or Coffee with Carl, one of my favorite shows, by the way. Here, what does this look like? A bunch of mumbo jumbo, right? But over on the left, that's where all the programming goes. So it's all about cable path. Cable path make everything work. Do I know how it all works? Not exactly. I've got a pretty good idea now, 7 years in. Our designers, our programmers, our installers, they're all very, very trained, heavily trained. They're masters at what they do, and they do that to make that easy. It's kind of like the dialing for dummies. You press projector comes down. You press audio comes up. So that leads to that. We do all of this for you. Live events. Just some examples. 8 weeks ago, I got a call on July 1st. And it was like, hey, at a Vance, yes, sir. He said, well, I've got an event for you. I was referred to you. This is a big thank you to Carl Blackstone. He said, you're the man I was told I was supposed to call. I said, okay, great. He said, wow, this might be the biggest event, that you've ever done. And I didn't want to be arrogant, but I want to say, try me. I'm 15 years into this, and as you all know, little old Columbia, South Carolina down here, we have a lot of people that come through here, and including all the presidential candidates, which are happening right now, including the President of the United States. And so that's what happened. July 1st, we're about to have July 4th holiday. It's the 1 weekend event, so we're kind of off. And I said, all right, great. When is it? Because I knew this was the kicker. And he was like, Thursday. I said, sweet. You mean Thursday, July 6th, 2 days after July 4th, the July 4th holiday when we're all off. Yeah, sure, no problem. 120 hours later, motorcade pulled up. It was a low to mid 6-figure production. The Sound and Images managed. And I was on the side of a mountain in Lake Lure with my teenage kids. And I went on a vacation. I was proud of myself, but I was out of commission for 3 days until that motorcade rolled away. I had 3 different text chains going on and bad Wi-Fi. Hair was falling out about a minute, but I had to trust my team. And we did everything from bringing in the catering, from getting printers to print all day on the 4th, all the rentals, all the presidential blue drape, you name it, did it all. And that's what we did on the live event production side. There's a couple members of our team right here, and there's Tenard, one of our master video technicians. There's the president, obviously. And this was at a plant right off the runway in West Columbia. So we had to do all this when we were playing Florida. I always say, and if you've heard me speak, red and blue make green for Sound and Images. We're not a political entity. We work with everyone. Sound and Ninjas has worked with every president. Eddie Wright founded this company in 1981. Every president since Reagan, Sound and Ninjas has worked with White House. So it's always the White House, just like the governor. We get to know the governor, but it's the people around the governor. It's the chef in the kitchen, it's the BPS at the back gate. Those are the real important people who get us in and out. Same thing with the president, vice presidents, etc. I've worked with Biden for, that was my 6th time with him. 3 or 4 sitting vice president and a couple as president. And so every time it's different, but it's all pay now or pay later. That time they gave us no chance to pay now or pay later. Moving forward real quick, that was just a couple of venues. There was Stone River. We bring in all the production. Best practices for virtual meetings. Yeah, I'm no expert. However, again, it's making sure that you've got the right technology. When I say that, technology to us is making sure that we have a hardwired connection. We do no meeting whatsoever on Wi-Fi. All our clients are like, hey, Wi-Fi is this, Wi-Fi is that. Absolutely none. When you've got that big meeting on the line, and all of a sudden that Wi-Fi starts going in and out, or shared network, or what have you, we are all about hardwire. I mean, we use a lot of wireless mics. The only time I use wireless mics is places like this that have all the infrastructure where we have $1,000 antennas to make sure that this is wireless. But being 51 years old, we're old school, and old school is hardwired. Hardwired helps guarantee that you're not going to have that uninterrupted meeting. We facilitated a meeting for VW, the board of VW, the world's largest automaker, in July. Everything that we said that they needed, their team said no. And we're talking with Germany, we're talking with DC, it's all part of the Scout Motors. The venue that they chose, I won't name, I've worked there forever, it's awesome. However, they do not have great internet. And they don't have high, I mean, it's shoddy. And they have huge windows everywhere, and this is proprietary. So I'm gonna have to get 16-foot pipe and grate. Then, I was brought in after the fact, which is great. But what we were doing was preparing as best we could for the disasters that were gonna happen, and it did. I saw a little email from Meta, he's over in Germany. And at the bottom it said MS call. That's it, MS call. And an email longer than mine, and my emails are long. Everything's in there. However, that's Microsoft Teams call. So immediately I just go to level 10 with the team. We're bringing MiFis and all these other kind of things, but it was not our venue. During that day, the board of Volkswagen, the internet went out multiple times. The venue guy calls me, close friend, Adam, fire drill. We call fire drill, like if the state house calls, someone says, you got a fire drill, that means like you need us right now. And I'm immediately thinking in my head, who is where around town, who is closest, who can come, who can go. And so they were having fire drills that I was pretty much expecting to have. And so we went there and we go, of course, none of the cables are marked or anything. So it was a guessing game, but we got it back up and a little bit of luck, but it's just, again, here it's just falling out. So test your technology, rehearse. Again, all things I haven't done before today, but see, I know Will Ames is back there. I've worked here many times. I know that this facility is top notch, but if I'm going somewhere that I don't know anything about, I'm going to do some research. So strongly recommend that you do that during the meeting. You have to maximize your distractions, keep those microphones on mute. I mean, we all know we're so well versed from COVID on what to do and what not to do. The biggest things that I can stress are just making sure that you have the right equipment. You got high-speed internet. If you're going somewhere, don't just assume you can plug in. We do human trafficking press conferences for Attorney General. If I go plug in the State House, even though they know me very well, somebody's tackling me. I'm talking to IT. I'm making sure that there's no firewalls. The hand's not going to block my signal coming out or anything. All these things that you don't want to find out right when you're about to go on. So that's pretty much what I have for you here. As everyone probably knows that knows me, I can sit here for another 9 hours. I'm so happy to be here with Chris too, and Dan, thank you so much as well. And I guess I'll go down with him. All right.
Thank you, Adam, for that presentation, and we'll hear more from Adam as we go through the questions on AI and AV. So anything that you were dying to ask, may get answered here shortly. We're gonna further our understanding of technology's impact. So we have a panel with Chris Williams and again, Adam Vance. Chris Williams is the CEO of AI Nautics and STEMU. And we welcome them both here today. So do you want to introduce yourself? And Chris, you can go first.
All right, so great morning, everybody. Like I stated, my name is Chris Williams. I'm the CEO of AI Nautics and STEMU. We are an education training firm that focuses on autonomous technology, STEM integration to help schools, organizations integrate technology and help them look more like a force multiplier. So from an AI standpoint, we utilize that in two different ways, autonomous and then artificial intelligence. And we'll talk about that a little before we get into the panel.
And Adam, you want to take a minute? I mean, after you kind of introduce yourself, is there anything you left out that you want to add real quick?
Sound images at 807. Two blocks from the stadium next door to Budweiser, and I can't believe we're there, but we're gonna host Leadership Columbia coming up. We've got a couple venues too that I'd love to tell you about sometime.
So how do you, as we go through these questions, they're very specific, AI and AV. How well do AI and AV work together? Or do they? And whoever wants to jump in and answer first, feel free.
So first, before I think we get into those questions, I want to make sure as an audience, you guys understand AI itself and know it's really become mainstream, commercialized, and so forth. But truly, AI is really just kind of symptomatic. I call it a private investigator on steroids. It basically can give you all the information you need, like you going out there and putting the information out to collect that data back. A bunch of 0 and 1s, algorithms come together to give you smart technology. So that's AI in the whole. As far as AV, again, it's technology. So it's going to complement in audio, video. It's going to complement in sales. It's going to complement mostly across any industry and platform. Specifically for AV, I think Adam can answer that. But as a whole, it's kind of taking it back from what you have, two different types of AI. You have weak, and then you have general. So let's talk about weak. That's how many people said, "Hey Siri" before? Hey Google. Yeah, that's data. So, that's AI in itself working on the back end. That's collecting that information that you're putting out there in the question, and it's going to do like a filter of crawling, of taking that data back. That's not specific to AV in whole, but let's talk about a virtual presentation. Somebody may have a virtual meeting.
Yeah, I mean, what I've seen actually coming up lately is more on the programming side. And Rob Nelson is our general manager and just extremely, I'll say it's smart. But every time he's about to do something or I ask him about something, he sees what AI comes up with. But one thing that they have mentioned is, maybe AI start doing the programming that I was talking about, which would wipe out the programmers, which I do not want to do. I don't want to take the human element out of it, but I do realize that it's coming on strong.
Yeah, and so to answer to that is basically that's the chat, AI. So you can put that information out there, it gives you back information, and basically you kind of can tell it and make it your own. But that's software on the back end that's running to go out there, and I call it like a true robust web crawl. I'm not quite sure who used Indeed before. Just I either look for employees. So when you think about it, Indeed is going to pull jobs from multiple job boards. Basically, that's AI in the back end working across all spectrums to pull the information to put it together. If we went inside, say Sam's grocery store or Sam's shopping center, and you can go do checkout where you don't even now have to go and scan anymore, that's the AI technology working in the back end. So really, it's just a lot of data being collected. If you scan something with your phone at a grocery store and you scan anything else, and you notice that you go back to that store again, it's already having that information that you purchased 2 weeks ago and giving you products that complement it, that's AI working. So AI is really just giving you a lot of collected data based on your responses and your actions.
Thank you for that. So as we go through these questions, if there's one that we're going to try and, if you both can answer it, then both answer it. If there's one that seems like a more natural fit for one or the other, then don't worry about if you can't answer it. So the first one, how do you implement AI and AV in your business, and how do you know what is needed for your business?
So how we implement AI in our business, of course, AI is part of our name. That's the first way we implement it. It's part of our name. But we are a drone training company and solutions. I was mentioning earlier, we're actually going to be launching our drone delivery service within the next quarter of the year. So when I talk about AI and we're talking about drone delivery, one of the things we have to understand is the data. We have to understand airspace. We have to understand our clientele and our market. So being able to have that software give us that information in advance to go ahead and submit, say, okay, I want to drop some ibuprofen to, who was that you said take it to? The ibuprofen, you said take it to, WLTA or something, yeah, example. But nevertheless, so say for example, if I want to take and deliver some food to you guys, that information, I can go ahead and capture that information in the back end, put it into the system of the software, put that system together in the software, and now pinpoint that delivery to you guys in a matter of an estimate of time. So if you saw the commercial, I like to use example, if you see the commercial, Domino's commercial, where it says pinpoint delivery, that's basically autonomous technology being utilized from an AI capacity. So you can go on an app, put that order in, and that order is going to come to you no matter wherever you're at. So now that basically is collecting the data from the GPS, it's collecting the data from you in that aspect, that point of time, your location, and putting all that together. So we use it in that way, and we also use it from a competitive edge in terms of training. A lot of our instructors, we go out, we have what we call now virtual instructors. So our virtual instructors are going out and delivering our content, but they're taking on the face and the body of an instructor that we may have in a classroom, and they're being that instructor in the field. So that's also AI technology working as well, kind of using it that way, and then our virtual VR glasses as well.
This is kind of comical, but I mentioned long emails that I type, and I'm ATD, attention to detail, all the time. And if anyone accuses me of not putting the information in there, they didn't read it. But I found later that Rob Nelson and the other team members in my office would use Chat AI and basically put my email in there, and they come out with all these bullet points and everything. Really just streamline it for them. But yeah, it's I wouldn't say that it's really. I think Rob and some of the programmers and things have been using it more on the programming side, but as far as AI, for me, I'm more of the live production person in the group, in the company. And so I haven't really brought it to me using it out in the field. I think it's just more done on our programming.
Okay, and Adam, I would ask you this one, I think you covered it a little bit when you talked about the transition during COVID. So how has technology transformed the AV industry, and what opportunities has it created for small business owners?
Yes, definitely COVID put a lot of this on the fast track as far as us having to go virtual. And so for a lot of small businesses, for a lot of our churches, houses of worship, everything kind of flipped. I always kind of joked, back when we were young, the old man would be like, boy, get your suit on, go in there to church. So, and now when COVID hit, they're like, I ain't going in there. And most of our elders can figure out, we can get into Facebook Live, hopefully, and really get the word to them. I monitor 10 to 12 church services every Sunday morning, plus the one that I'm supposed to be at, because I get instant quality control. So any of our clients that do live stream or have regular meetings, I do it with the chamber. When we do small business breakout, we're over there at Segra. It's on through SNI, but I immediately look, can I see, can I hear? And then I go through the comments, especially for the churches with the elders, where they go, there's no sound. Well, there is, we've installed it, but we just need to help that person figure out where the volume button is. But as far as small businesses too, attorneys, depositions, some of my friends, one of them, they called me and they're like, Adam, we were trying to do this deposition and we got our iPad out, we got this mic thing, and I just said, stop, please, just stop. I said, I know how much each of you charge per hour, because that's what you charge us. And you just messed around with this for 4 hours, took 3 people to 400. We could have already had an installation here well underway for that. So DIY, again, destroy yourself. But there are a lot of clients have small systems, monitor on the wall. We have gone away from projection in most cases, and really then be able to have that reach. Last thing I'll say on that, Columbia Eye Clinic too, they have locations all over town. When their surgeons are going to meet, they're not operating on eyeballs. So if they're not operating on eyeballs, they're not generating revenue. So what do? We put them a virtual, put a monitor and tabletop device. And so now after, when they go on their lunch, their different offices around Lexington, et cetera, they're not sitting in traffic. They're having that meeting, like they're all together, they have their lunch, and then they go back and operate on eyeballs. So it's really helped them too. And as far as the ROI is just, it's phenomenal.
Thank you for that. So I know every small business deals with customer experience. How do we make it a better customer experience so we can compete with our competitors? But, so how do you use AI and AV to improve products and services to help with customer experience?
So I look at it in a couple different ways. Labor, you can use it in terms of a virtual assistant. You can use it in terms of looking at it from researching the data to make sure you're focused on more of a specific result of trying to get into a customer. Personalization, and of course, a lot of this is data when you're trying to analyze everything. So you pull this back again and put this into, let's say, chat AI. You can put it into some other formats, but really it's about pulling that data. And then being able to support it that way. I think the biggest thing is understanding your market and understand who your customers are and figure out how to customize that format to be able to utilize it for your best return on your investment. And I think that simplifies it for a business owner because everyone is not going to instantly integrate AI into their business model. For one, it's a cost expensive implementation. Two, you may not have the infrastructure to do it. And three, it may not give you an instant return on your investment. So you have to look at strategically how this is going to be of value to you in your business model. And if it's something that's going to be strategic in your business model, and you say the first quarter, second quarter, however you want to play that out, I think you can align it there. The most simple way right now is to use it from the chat AI and just go out and capture that data and kind of use that data to craft emails, craft marketing plans, create social media campaigns. It can do a lot of that information for you already, where you don't have to have a person in place to say, okay, I'm a business of 3 people on my infrastructure, my team. I don't have a marketing person, so I need to put together a marketing plan. Or I need to do a press release. You can use that chat AI to do those things, and now you can put that information out there, you can vet it. So it's about understanding how your business is going to operate and how you can successfully use the system and the tools that are already out there.
And I would like to add, as far as AV technologies, enhancing your services and improving customer experiences, Sound and Images installed a lot of digital signage. So from monitors all through the Russell House, letting you know what you can purchase, what you can get, what the specials are. We do LED walls. We did one in Newton, Georgia for a partner. It's an auto dealership. If you'll write this down or just remember #Acura, #Call of Duty. And what do those two have to go together? Well, we installed a video wall in a dealership, Daniels, Newton, and Acura. And the guy, the AV guy, the IT guy was playing Navy and IT or oil and water. But he happens to be a unicorn and he knows both very well. But anyway, he was playing Call of Duty on it. Some kids saw him playing on our 8x20 video wall that we entered. They were across the parkway and they went up and recorded it. And they posted it and #, he was playing Call of Duty on the screen. It's like we threw a grenade, the whole dealership lit up. It was like dust, it was crazy. But anyway, he saw himself on TikTok and he said, I am so fired. And Mr. McDaniel's bill in our meeting earlier that day had said, yeah, it's on TikTok, whatever, 50 million hits. We got on Mr. McDaniel's plane, we flew there 39 minutes later, and I told Drew, and I said, Drew, what's going on here? It's 50 million. He said, it's at 80 now, and it's at 80. It was me. But Acura caught it, and they were just so excited. They're like, how can we duplicate this? Call of Duty answered in, and then worldwide. And there was no Sound and Images SC anywhere on there. But anyway, digital signage. I mean, those kids saw that from 500 yards away, and it attracted them over there. And that works for that dealership overnight, whether they're open or not. They have content going on. So digital signage, logo love, I call it all the time. You'll see S&I's logo everywhere. Shamelessly, I apologize, but I'm self-employed. I'm commission only basically, and all I know is just to go all in and use all those technologies to our benefit.
So I'm sure everybody has the same problem I have, your inbox is just loaded, but hey, do this, try this, this is the new platform, and I get inbox overwhelmed. So to both of you, in a rapidly evolving tech landscape, how do you stay up to date with the latest trends?
So, that goes back to AI again. You can actually use that from a research standpoint, collecting that data. But we stay up on trend because that's part of our requirement. Being that we are an autonomous integration provider, we're in the tech space, we have to stay up on technology. So we have people on our team, that's what they constantly do. We go out to conferences, we work with universities, we work with research agencies just on different things. But just staying in the know, but just using the existing technology that's there to actually complement those technologies. I'll say technology is changing so fast, you're not gonna stay up on different technology. You really be honest, from a small business standpoint, find one technology that works for you and adopt it and run it well and be efficient. If you try to stay up with the Joneses and integrate each technology, you're gonna go out of business before you get in business because it's too expensive to try to keep changing your infrastructure to integrate another technology capacity. AI, use the free open source capacity. Open source is a good option for anyone that has low budget because open source means it's accessible to you at no cost. So integrate those type of technology into your business model and you'll be good to go. Anything else that if it doesn't require you to say you're a team of 10 people, you don't need a network guard that's gonna take and give you a mainframe of all this type of system and capabilities. Your capacity is not there. But if you're a team of 100 people, then your budget is going to complement that, and you need to have technology that complements your infrastructure. So I'd say, how do we stay abreast of it? Is that we build it around our business model. So meaning that we're autonomous, we have to stay up on different software platforms, different programming. So we have different type of people on staff, different engineers that help support that type of software. So it's based on your business model.
For sound and images, I would say a big part of it are our manufacturer reps. We get visited constantly, bringing in all the newest things that they're providing, and that's very, very helpful. We have a conference room now that seats up 35 to 40. It's a shameless mention, I apologize, but we're getting all the technology in there because now with our facility, we have the opportunity to get people in, they can fly before they buy. I've learned about things too, like the ceiling tiles. There are ceiling tiles that are actual microfilms, and it's called beam forming technology. So when they come in and do the demos, it just blows my mind, but I can walk towards that wall and I can just talk into that wall. And then when we play it back on the screens, it sounds like we were just talking into a tabletop microphone in the middle. Because we want people to be able to walk freely. We'll have cover them with cameras and everything, but all those technologies and trends are brought in by the reps. Also too, I'm constantly, I like everything under the world in Instagram, old people's book, as I call Facebook, and joke with my kids, who are 17 and 20. Constantly, I'm just scouring, because if you like a lot of these things, if you like a lot of these manufacturers, when that new stuff comes out, it's just coming to you in your phone. And then I'm just constantly paying attention everywhere I go. If I see something that I don't know, I'm usually texting somebody, either the head of installations or the GM or a programmer or something like, what is this? But keeping your eyes open, being aware, and just paying attention to.
So as we try and pick a starting point, whatever size your business is now, whatever budget you think you may have for this, where's a good place to start with a budget? And then how would you propose to move forward as technology moves forward and as needs move forward, so it's not always a brand new project?
I'll say I'm always big on numbers. Look at your last fiscal year sales, and then look at your projection of what your new fiscal year, what you're projecting, and take that and say, okay, how much can I afford on technology versus what I already have? And if that's 10% of your business operational cost, put 10% towards technology. If that 10% is not going to bring you back 20% in return of income, then you need to scale it back. So from a budget standpoint, again, look at your business model, look at your last fiscal years. I'm quite sure everyone here probably has P&L statements. I have those monthly balance sheets, knowing where your breakdown of what you're spending in your services or operation, spending from tech services, sales, whatever that is. And if it's not looking to where you can budget it, don't budget it. But if you can't forecast it for 2 years now to bring it in, like I stated earlier, it's gonna be about your overall need, you know, and what that's gonna look like. Like Adam was saying earlier, you guys may need the audio video side of integrating that technology in where you can now have more virtual capacity or have more meetings that's gonna require you to be able to scale your business. Well, if you can afford to have a table or a ceiling with that are speakers or microphones, then and it makes sense for your business model, but if no one ever comes into your office and know that there, why do you need that technology? So look at it how it's going to be able to return your investment on your business model, and if it's 10% of your budget, 20% of your budget, just look at your bottom line. That's the most efficient way I can say to do it.
For me, AV equipment is a significant investment, and it is, you get what you pay for. For us, when we bought Sound and Images, still paying, of course, not like just handing a big chunk of change to Eddie, my friend, the founder. Even though the business has been around since 1981, I had known it a minute, my wife and I. And so, regardless what my credit score was, and I fought like heck, especially through all the tough times, to keep that thing as high as it can possibly be. There's no loan that I can go get, and startup financing is pretty hard. So some people thought that I started Sound and Images. No, I would not do that. I had 2 preteens at the time, and I was GM of a very large tent event rental company, but I couldn't give up all that security and just start something brand new. However, I was treated as I was a complete rookie in every regard as far as the banks were concerned. And so to try to you know, some people say fake it till you make it, right? Well, I've got a friend, Ron Harvey, that we know, and he says fake it till you break it.
Yeah.
And in AV, you can't fake it. It's either good or it's not good at all. But if you are able to determine, you know, what you need by talking with professionals that can help guide you in that way, I mean, you can start with small systems, $3,000 to $4,000, and build your way up. So if you're able to kind of get that cash up to get that first purchase or two, and then start building, and then you get to that 2-year mark where you can start getting some traditional financing that is very helpful. But I just, you know, I fight the urge all the time. There's a 17-foot by 10-foot mobile LED wall that I want so bad, and I know that's the guy in me. We use it at all kinds of events at Soda City and stuff, and I call my friends in and I bring it in. I facilitate anything. If I don't have it, I'll bring it in. Sound and Image just puts everything under one umbrella, no matter how big or small your event. But gosh, I want to go buy that thing. But if I do, I'm gonna get a loan. I'm gonna get a loan from a banker like Michael Yarborough or somebody that will give me that monthly payment that I know I'm gonna make a certain percentage every month. I'm gonna make that monthly payment work for us. So if that monthly payment is $2,000 or $3,000, and then we're grossing 6, 7, 8, you know, that you're winning. A lot of people too, the people that have all the cash, you know, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna pay cash for that. Well, great, because you got it. I don't. You know, so I need to do another way. So I do say, look at some of your bankers and your financing options and go about it that way, and just don't really focus on the interest rate too much. Just get that payment so you can make that payment work for you, get that equipment.
Well, I want to give a big hand to our presenters today. We appreciate them both being here, and I want to open it up. We have a couple of minutes for 2 or 3 questions if anybody has anything that they're just dying to know. Adam?
Adam, thank you. Chris, thank you for being here. I have a question for you, Adam. Earlier in your conversation, you mentioned more installations, monitor versus projector. Is that technology? Is that space? What's driving that trend?
A little bit of both. The monitors tend to have, unless you get a very, very high-end, very $20,000, $30,000, $60,000, $80,000 projector, the monitors tend to be brighter. I joke again, like going to buy a Bobo home TV off the rack at Target. That's what people compare sometimes when we present them with a $5,000 monitor. But the monitors are on the wall. We don't have to have, I was in a meeting yesterday, the motor that brings that projector up and down, it always breaks. If you don't have that up there, the projector's in the room. Just the monitor's so easy. We run the cables onto the floor. It comes in the back of the TV, network in it. Again, the brightness, the space, but projection is not dead by any means at all, and there's some great applications for it, but more in our smaller rooms, we're doing those, or in the larger spaces, we're doing the true LED walls. And again, a lot of people don't think about that light coming in, and and how many times you've been in a meeting and that screen is completely washed out. So I recommend the monitors too, and not to, they have commercial grade, they have residential, we stay away from residential. Warranties get voided if they realize you're using that in commercial. And there's some prosumer models that are kind of in the middle, and they have longer warranties too.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a question first for, I'm David Taylor and I was working sales and, I have a question for, about AI in lead generation or just the research that you do in trying to find your target customer. And so, instead of, I'll just be super general, just for the sake of a little bit of humor and maybe you can use my little example and build on it. So like, let's say that I want to find all the turquoise buildings in rural South Carolina. And I just don't know how to get there. And I need to find who's the primary contact who manages those buildings, that kind of thing. How would AI equip me to like research that? I'm just using that for example, because I know Google is not one of those.
Yeah, so great question. So the most typical, the common way as of right now is chat AI. That's one of the open source options that you can use. But you also can build, if you had infrastructure algorithms around your sales needs that's targeting your business model. So prime example, you can build a code that would actually be able to hit those specifics of targeting anything related to that. So I'm gonna go back to our drone scenario. So when our drone goes out in an autonomous scenario, I can have our drone flying here right now and pinpoint anyone that has on a plaid shirt with burgundy, red, black, or whatever colors in it that has glasses on, and that asks a great question. I can have that drone pinpoint you. But then that drone will come to you and say, okay, hold on. Well, I have someone that has on a burgundy dress, but they didn't have on glasses. Let me go in that way. Well, from AI functionality, I can go in and customize that program or that language to go down to actually specifically pick everyone in the room that has any parameters around that and specifically pull all that in the data and give it back to me. So to simplify that, chat AI is going to give you that functionality, but on a broader scale, that's when you need to start having programmers involved to help create that type of model where you can build that around maybe an application, because there are CRMs out there that's going to kind of be able to give you lead generation, but it's so broad. But to specifically get to that now, chat AI is going to be the best unless you guys can bring in a team.
So I have a quick question for you. So I heard somebody say that Chat GPT was only updated to 2000 or 2021. So how does Chat AI and Chat GPT, how do they get updated and how accurate are they?
So great question. So they have new releases. Like most everything comes out with a beta, but it's a catch and hook to everything that goes out there that's open. It's really just trying to get you to use it to get you to the next phase of it. And technologies, when it's released, remember, it's already old. It's just being released. So the new technology is already there for anything that's coming. It just hasn't been released yet. And it's part of a process. If I give you too much, I gave you too much too fast, you're not going to use it. But if I give you enough, I get you exposed to it, then when I bring the rest, you've already kind of hooked. So it's a big hook process. Truthfully, the technology for anything that's what we can't be thinking about is already there. I was researching something the other day, and there's a microscope that's coming to the market that can specifically look at blood cells and tell you you have cancer. That's AI working with that type of microscope. It costs $100,000 or better, but that's a university working with that microscope company to come up with that type of product. Those type of technologies are there. We are in the process of actually starting a drone delivery service. Well, when we talk about drone delivery, and I'm going to from a technology standpoint, we are having drone taxi services that are coming. That's going to be able to take a person from one skyscraper to the next, one building to the next. We're talking about autonomous cars. Autonomous cars are the past, but you see autonomous cars in large cities, San Francisco, so forth like that. But autonomous cars is a technology that's old. It just hasn't made it mainstream yet because of a consumer standpoint. So to kind of answer your question, the technology is already there.
Thank you. I don't know about y'all, but I can keep asking questions all day long. So, but we need to wrap up. We do have some upcoming chamber announcements. So applications for the 2024 Midlands Minority Business Accelerator are now open. There will be a virtual meeting held on October 2nd for anybody who has questions about that program. Or you can see Naomi for more details. And then the biggest, coolest event is the 120th Diamond Gala. It will be the biggest gala that the chamber has ever had. I know it says gala, but it's not like black tie and all that stuff. It'll be held October 5th at Secker Park. And if you have any questions or need tickets, you can ask any of the chamber staff or pull it up on the chamber website. There's a great link to it there. So we appreciate everybody for coming out today for our meeting and get to work safely. Oh, I'm sorry, and our door prize, TD Bank.
Good morning. I'll make it real quick so we can get everybody to work. I just want to thank AB and Chris for a great presentation. Thank you to Richland too for hosting and Columbia Chamber. TD Bank is very proud to be one of the sponsors for this event throughout the year. And we do have a door prize. Then we have a brew vape like tumbler. So I'll just kind of throw a question out there. What is the biggest, I guess, form of fraud that is currently impacting small business owners here in South Carolina? Biggest form of fraud. Close. So, any other guesses? Cyber. So cyber is up there. So we'll go ahead and go with that. But one thing I'll speak to, cyber is definitely at the top. But one of the big things, the real trend we're seeing currently is a check fraud. And the reason I bring that up is, tying into technology, there are software, there are programs out there through your banks, of course, including TD Bank, we'd love to talk to you about that. But I'd recommend getting with your bank and kind of doing a review of your account. Because there is software you can implement that'll protect your account. Because what's happening is these people it's a very old form of fraud, but it's still one of the most common where they're going into mailboxes. There's even situations where somewhere between point A and B, the mail system, items are coming up missing and being altered and presented through the ATM banking, the mobile banking. So that's where technology is welcome. Sometimes kind of work against you because there's no person interaction, so they can take a picture of that check that they've intercepted. But anyway, so I really encourage you to give your bank, take advantage of technology that's out there that'll kind of help protect you, your accounts. It's you. But thank y'all very much.